What is the process that you usually follow कि जो भी आपको criticism मिल रहा है या hate मिल रही है, you channelize it and you make sure that you become better.
So to really break it down, because a lot of athletes say that without understanding कि अपने आप आ जाता है, but if you are somebody who sits with yourself, I've been meditating since I was 7 years old. So because see, when you sit with yourself eyes closed, it's a straight mirror. Yeah. You can't run away from yourself. See, today you switch on a TV, you're losing your brain there, you're seeing your phone, you're scrolling reels. It's taking you away from you and your thoughts and yourself as who you are.
Indian basketball जो है वो अभी एक sleeping giant है. Okay, how much do you agree with it and why do you think कि India जो है वो basketball में super power बनने के लिए necessary steps ले रहा है तो वो नहीं हो रहा या फिर नहीं भी ले रहा?
Every sport, not just basketball, we are a sleeping giant as a country.
Yeah.
Not as even a sport.
How to be a professional basketballer in Europe, specifically if you are an Indian, and how it is different from like Indian basketball, the people, their culture and all that stuff.
It's a great question to ask because the difference is huge. So the kind of basketball that we are seeing in Europe and what we see in India, again comes down to the fundamental system.
Yeah.
In Europe, a kid who is 15 years old is already a pro. In India, a 15-year-old is busy getting ready for his boards. That's the difference.
बास्केटबॉल एक ऐसा स्पोर्ट है जो फॉरेन कंट्रीज में बहुत ज़्यादा खेला जाता है, बहुत ज़्यादा फेमस है, लेकिन अगर मैं इंडिया की बात करूं तो भाई यहाँ पे ज़्यादा रिनाउंड नहीं है. ऐसा नहीं है कि इंडिया के पास टैलेंट नहीं है या उतने अच्छे प्लेयर्स नहीं है, भाई सब कुछ है, बट इट्स जस्ट दैट कि ना इंडियन बास्केटबॉल का जो समय है वो अभी आया नहीं है. बट जस्ट टू मेक श्योर कि वो जो समय है थोड़ा जल्दी आ जाए, एक ऐसा बंदा है हु इज ट्राइंग इज वेरी बेस्ट कि वो ऑन द फील्ड तो इम्पैक्ट डाले ही डाले, बट साथ के साथ ऑफ द फील्ड वो और सारे ऐसे प्लेयर्स प्रोड्यूस करे जो भाई इंडिया को बहुत अच्छे से सर्व करें बास्केटबॉल में और एनबीए के साथ भी कॉम्पीट करें. प्रेजेंटिंग टू यू KS Ulhas, the first Indian to feature and compete in professional basketball leagues in Europe. Ulhas, we meet again. How are you?
All good. All good.
How are things?
Amazing.
Yeah, I'll cut to the important topics obviously very shortly, but I'll start with the most important question that I feel that really belongs to each and every athlete or the person that I meet. Let's say कि यहाँ पे अभी रूम में 3 या 4 लोग बैठे हैं who are your best friends, ठीक है? अगर मैं उनसे ये पूछूं कि उल्हास सत्यनारायणन कौन है, तो वो मेरे को क्या जवाब देंगे?
पहले तो ऐसे 4 बेस्ट फ्रेंड हैं नहीं मेरे.
चलो 2 होंगे.
एक भी नहीं है.
चलो मैं बता दूं फिर कुछ. बट स्टिल अगर मेरे को किसी से पूछना हो, आपके माता पिता हो या कोई भी हो, तो वो क्या बोलेंगे
मेरे बारे में? वो तो उनसे ही पूछना पड़ेगा.
फिर भी
I mean, see, everyone perceives me as Ulhas very differently. The answer I can give you is this: कि a guy who's seeing me on the court will see a completely different side of me. The guy you're seeing right now is a different guy. So depending on where I am according to that. It's almost like जैसे पानी कप में डाल रहे हो तो कप बन जा रहा है. So for everyone I'm somebody else. For my mom I'm son. For my brother I'm a brother. For a friend I'm a friend. For you I'm guest.
No, you are a friend. Obviously.
Oh, I'm a friend. So yeah, I'm not a guest now.
No, you want me to keep it a lot more informal then? और भाई क्या हाल है, क्या चल रहा है?
नहीं. It's all so in that sense I am different person to everyone, but yes, one thing is common that they know me as a basketball player and me whatever I've done for the game or what I'm doing for the game currently. But otherwise it is a very subjective thing who I am to you or otherwise them.
No, that's fine. That's okay. You know, one of the things that really stayed with me as far as one of I think your recent stage performances is concerned, that if you keep telling me my limitations, you are my best friend I never had. Tell me more about this.
So see, growing up in a cricketing nation which is our country India, which I'm very proud of, being an Indian, I have always seen a sense of looking down on a person who is trying to be something. That is something I see a lot around the place कि अगर कोई चीज़ पहली बार कर रहा है उसको लोग बहुत मॉक करते हैं ट्राई करने के लिए, बट एक बार वो कर लेता है और अचीव कर लेता है तो कहते हैं कि मेरे को पता था ये कुछ बनेगा एक दिन. That's the same story that happened with me, that when I started the game, I had people giving me recognition, but I also had people telling me that, look, you're so small for the game. Basketball तो लंबे लोगों का गेम है. तू बहुत वीक है, पतला है तो इस गेम के लिए you're not able to sustain yourself for this game. I've heard all kinds of things. You're not skilled enough and all these things. So I had two options. Either I become demoralized and say, yeah, सही बोल रहा है, वो नहीं है. Or I see it and take it in a positive way that, look, he's pointing out my limitations. Let me actually look if they are there or not. Or he's just out to get me. So I looked within myself and I was like, you know what? He's actually not wrong. And that's the realization I had in my 10th grade that, look, I am playing well, I have the skills and the game is coming. I have some kind of talent, yes. But if I want to upgrade myself, I have to work on these things if I want to be better. So yes, I have people not rooting for me, but what they are saying is right. I may not be as athletic, or I don't have the speed right now, or I don't have the strength. So you know what? Let me build it. So I started building, and I was taking in as much criticism, even if it was not constructive. I made it constructive, because at the end, you are your own competition, is what I believe.
Yeah.
And if you are not working on yourself every single day, you are wasting the present, and we call it a present because it's a gift. So I believe you should work on yourself every single second that you have, because otherwise you're wasting the time you have gotten.
I've actually spoken with a lot of athletes, and जब भी मैं उनसे ये सवाल पूछता हूँ ना कि आपको जो भी हेट मिलती है या क्रिटिसिज्म मिलता है बाहर से, फैंस से मिल रहा है या कहीं से भी मिल रहा है, तो आप उसको चैनलाइज कैसे करते हो ताकि आपके जो ऑन फील्ड परफॉर्मेंसेज हैं या आपकी जो फिटनेस है वो इंप्रूव हो, या फिर जो आपके लाइफ के अलग एस्पेक्ट्स हैं वो बेटर हो. तो मेरे को ना कभी भी आज तक एक डायरेक्ट जवाब नहीं मिला है. दे से कि यार हमारे ना या तो वो मन से आती है चीज़ तो हम उसको चैनलाइज कर देते हैं. सो व्हाट इज द प्रोसेस दैट यू यूजुअली फॉलो कि जो भी आपको क्रिटिसिज्म मिल रहा है या हेट मिल रही है, you channelize it and you make sure that you become better?
So to really break it down, because a lot of athletes say that without understanding कि अपने आप आ जाता है, but if you are somebody who sits with yourself, I've been meditating since I was 7 years old. So because see, when you sit with yourself eyes closed, it's a straight mirror. You can't run away from yourself. See, today you switch on a TV, you're losing your brain there, you're seeing your phone, you're scrolling reels. It's taking you away from you and your thoughts and yourself as who you are. So the minute you sit with yourself eyes closed, I'm not even saying do meditation or this, just sit with yourself eyes closed, all kinds of thoughts you will have, right? Any and all kinds of thought, may it be positive or negative. Now when it comes to in situation games, I have to score a basket and the crowd is chanting that miss, you're gonna miss, you cannot shoot, this, that, everything that can be negative. The process that I break it down to is, where is the center of my focus? Is my mind and focus going towards what I'm hearing, or is it focused on the basket that I need to shoot? It's a very simple thing. Where your focus, this is a very substantial thing that I'm about to say, which is where your focus goes, your energy flows. It's as simple as that. There is nothing complicating about it. The problem is we are so distracted with so many things that our ability to focus on one specific thing has become bad in this generation specifically. It's reduced to almost nothing. So it's very easy. Whenever I want, I'll make you angry. Whenever I want, I'll make you happy. I'll say, oh, you're so good looking. You'll be like in cloud 9. I'll say you look like trash. You are beneath my feet.
Yeah.
So I have the power to decide how you feel at all times. So in other words, to be more direct, you are a slave. You are a slave to your situation and the people. And that means that you are not truly living your own life by your own choices. Other people are deciding your life at all times.
Yeah.
So I choose not to be a slave. I chose a different path. And I would want every single human to exercise that choice, because it's a choice that you're making at all times. That if you can refocus yourself towards your goal, even if there are distractions, you will always walk the path and you will always have the fulfillment towards it.
Lovely. I think maybe for the first time ऐसा हुआ है कि मेरे को थोड़ा कंस्ट्रक्टिव जवाब मिला है, नॉट टू ऑब्वियसली डिसरिस्पेक्ट एनी ऑफ द एथलीट्स जिनसे मैंने बात करी है, बिकॉज मुझे ऐसा लगता है आजकल ना फिल्टर्ड चीज़ें ज़्यादा हर कोई बोलता है, बिकॉज सोशल मीडिया के टाइम पे आई थिंक मोर ऑफन देन नॉट देयर आर एथलीट्स या फिर रिलेवेंट स्टेक होल्डर्स, वो लोग थोड़ा ना सोच के बोलते हैं कि यार हमको ये बोलना चाहिए या नहीं बोलना चाहिए, बट एटलीस्ट आई थिंक यू हैव गॉन प्रिटी डीप इनटू द फैक्ट दैट कि यू डू मेडिटेशन एंड मोर इंपॉर्टेंटली आपका जो सेंटर ऑफ फोकस है उस पर आपका ध्यान ज़्यादा होना चाहिए. We'll obviously get to know more about you, as the podcast progresses. But one thing that I would want to jump right into it now, and it's obviously the state of Indian basketball. Okay, it has been said pretty clearly that Indian basketball जो है वो अभी एक sleeping giant है. Okay, how much do you agree with it? And why do you think कि India जो है वो basketball में super power बनने के लिए necessary steps ले रहा है, तो वो नहीं हो रहा, या फिर नहीं भी ले रहा?
So this question, if you trickle down even 10 to 20 years ago, is the same question we are still asking today. Every sport, not just basketball, we are a sleeping giant as a country.
Yeah.
Not as even a sport. This what I'm saying is, see, we are discussing about basketball and specifying it a sport, which I'll get into, but if you see in every field of any career that may be there, our Indian people are very smart. We have very high IQs. That's what we are known for. Unfortunately, with the age of distraction, coming back to the same thing, we are not really fulfilling what we can be. We are far away from the best versions of what we can be because we are so busy being distracted by things around us. If a human being really puts their focus into really doing something, they can do it whenever they want with the targeted goals that they have.
Yeah.
Now, seeing from this perception, if you come into sports, there are many factors for an athlete to be successful. Too many. Is he coming from a privileged background, underprivileged background? If he is coming from a privileged background, is he in the right situations to take his game to the next level or not? If he is from underprivileged background, what is it that is pulling him back economically, or maybe something he doesn't have but he has the talent? There are many factors for the sport to really grow. So coming to the sport of basketball, what I feel personally is, yes, we are a sleeping giant and we are busy sleeping only. कि हम अपना लंच खाते हैं, अपना बढ़िया छाछ पीते हैं और सो जाते हैं. यही चल रहा है because we are a sleeping giant, because the amount of talent we have is immaculate. It's crazy. Every other state, district, village, you will find a great basketball player there. Because if you see every school, there are probably more than 14 lakh schools easily in India. Every school has a basketball court. If every school has a basketball court, to produce 12 great basketball players should not be a big task. But it is a big task because when you have that kind of, population and capacity, the infra, the support, the coaching expertise, the understanding of the game, the federation coming together, the systems to build them, that these many factors to build a sport.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it only takes one person to really think that I want to do this, I want to take the basketball to the highest level. And you will see all the things around the person will come together to make the sport great. And I feel that is what is lacking. If every individual decides, whoever is playing basketball in this country, if every one of you decide today that I want to take our Indian basketball to the highest level, I guarantee you, with every individual deciding this intent within him, within next 5 years, this game is gonna come to the same level of cricket. If just they decide within themselves, nothing else. What action may come out of that will be different from person to person. As somebody who's a player will try to do their best in their whatever power you have in your own level, if you are able to give your part. With collectively, when you see the outcome, it'll be far greater than what we can even imagine and achieve. So the problem is setting the intent in the first place. And we need to understand the game is not an Indian game. This games come from US and Europe. And specifically because I've played in Serbia for the last 1 year.
Yeah.
I have seen this now. It was at the time number 2 ranked country in the world. the kind of basketball these guys play and what we play, it's a big, big, big difference.
So
Big
you're saying that
difference.
India is ahead of them, or Serbia is like
So we are not
miles
even
ahead?
close. I think right now we are ranked, I don't know, 78 maybe.
No, but in terms of talent,
In terms of talent, we are not far. Ranking may look like, oh, the ranks are different. But the problem is the talent is not taken in the right direction. The talent is just being wasted per se. See, if I get a child who is 11 years old and he's a great talent. For cricket, if you say Vaibhav, you see how the kid is performing and
absolutely.
how big he's become. He's not become big just because of his own hard work and talent. Yes, that is the fundamental aspect that you have to even be a sports person. But with that comes along the system. Cricket has a great system.
Yeah.
Even if tomorrow you don't know me, if I enter IPL with my hard work, everybody is gonna know me because it is the center of attention. Everyone has an eye on that sport. So it's comparatively easy to get the recognition rather than any other sport in our country.
Yeah.
But I have nothing against cricket because they've done a good job of doing this. It took years to get to this. And yes, cricketers should benefit out of it. But to have the same in any other sport, you need to bring those systems in. You need to build those systems like how cricket has. And only then you can enjoy those benefits. It's like you have not done the work, but you want to reap the benefits out of it. That's not how life works. Putting it very bluntly. So for our sport, for basketball, like I said, if you decide within you that I have to take this game to the highest level, we have the talent. Even, see, my own journey. 10 years ago, basketball was nothing. To what it is right now, it's far better.
Yeah.
I had nothing. I had no pathway. I had nobody to look up to. Nobody had done what I had done. It was absolutely taking blind shot, just believing in myself. I had taken the risk I had. I was told all the limitations I was. Why I succeeded in what I'm doing is only and solely because I had the will and the grit that I have to do this at any cost. At any given cost, I have to make it. Because if I make it, I make it for the other Indians that couldn't make it, and then I can give the way. I had this vision even then. So if you really decide as a human and focus and you really give your 100%, I am telling you, all that is lacking is the intent to take our country to that level. If every single person within them decides that they want to do it, you will see tomorrow basketball in 5 years is the same level as cricket, is what I believe.
Okay. Contrary to what you just said कि intent की बहुत ज़्यादा कमी है, I think I have like another counter question to this. मेरे को जो बात समझ में आती है वो ये है, देखो हर स्पोर्ट में ना अलग अलग स्टेक होल्डर्स होते हैं. लेट्स स्टार्ट विद प्लेयर्स. ठीक है, आपने बोला कि जो प्लेयर्स अपने एंड से कर सकते हैं वो करेंगे. ठीक है, अपना एफर्ट मार सकते हैं, थोड़ा वर्ड ऑफ माउथ के थ्रू अवेयरनेस फैला सकते हैं. अगर किसी में कोई नॉर्मल टैलेंट, अच्छा मतलब टैलेंट दिख रहा है, तो उसको वो लोग फील्ड पे ला सकते हैं. एटलीस्ट कोशिश कर सकते हैं कि चलो हम उसको बास्केटबॉल कोर्ट तक तो लेके आए, हम आए और साथ में हमारे और कुछ दोस्त लोग आए या कोई आए. ठीक है, फैंस हैं, फैंस पे मैं आऊँगा. अभी मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि जो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेक होल्डर है इस केस में, जहां पे इंडियन बास्केटबॉल थ्राइव नहीं कर रहा, जिसकी वजह से, वो है फेडरेशन. एंड नॉट जस्ट फेडरेशन, स्पेसिफिकली वहां पे जो लोग बैठे हैं. बिकॉज जैसे कि आपने बोला, आपके पास कोई ऐसा नहीं था जिसकी तरफ यू कुड लुक फॉरवर्ड टू, कि यार चलो या लुक अप टू फॉर दैट मैटर, कि चलो ये मेरी इंस्पिरेशन हो सकता है, ये कोई रोल मॉडल हो सकता है. आज के डेट में अगर मैं बास्केटबॉल की बात करूं या एनबीए की बात करूं, तो हम सबके ज्यादातर जो आइडियल्स हैं वो कोबी ब्रायंट हो सकता है या फिर कोई और हो सकता है. ठीक है, बट इंडिया में आई डोंट थिंक सो कि कोई ऐसा है. आई जेन्युइनली बिलीव कि हमारी जो बास्केटबॉल की फेडरेशन है, वहां पे कोई ऐसे रेलेवेंट स्टेक होल्डर्स नहीं है जिनको या तो गेम का प्रायर थोड़ा एक्सपीरियंस है, या फिर एटलीस्ट गेम की तरफ उतना पैशन है, या एटलीस्ट एक वो ड्राइव है कि नहीं यार हमको ना इसको नेक्स्ट लेवल तक लेके जाना है. सो मोर देन इंटेंट, आई फील कि राइट चॉइसेस नहीं है वहां पे. व्हाट डू यू थिंक अबाउट दिस?
See, personally, I'm not the one running the federation. So I don't know what they are doing exactly and what the decisions they are making. But again, I'm coming to the collective answer of this, that may it be the stakeholder like a federation or like how I have started my own UYBA and I'm giving a pathway to the kids. I can only decide my own intent. That's what I'm saying. Regardless federation is supporting or not, intent मेरा क्या, अब अगर मैं as an individual बात करूं, as currently playing basketball professionally, I have built UIBA where I'm giving pathway to the kid that if he picks up the game at the age of 7, at 18 I'm guaranteeing him that he is in a university or he is in some kind of a professional league where he is playing at a highest level. Now, if as an individual I can do this, of course, as a federation, association, or anything, they can do something much larger because they are a collective unit. But in that collective unit, what is exactly happening? What is the leadership like? It is subject to the person who is sitting there. And my belief is, I've met a lot of coaches, lot of players, lot of parents. Personally, I've met over, I would say, 400 parents in the last 1 year. Personally. I came up with my own academy in the first place is not just to teach the right basketball, but to give a pathway because I know that is what is lacking. So I see the gap in the market and I understand that if we give a pathway that अगर कोई basketball choose कर रहा है और वो कुछ बन रहा है उससे, so why will a parent not invest in the sport if it is making the kid's career and life? It's as simple as that. So if as a collective, if we fail to give a pathway and we are just going to train basketball for the sake of training, then of course the game dies. Why is cricket booming? Cricket is booming because not because everyone's watching.
Yeah.
It is booming because every other player is trying to play cricket and be in the IPL because they are getting paid great amount. They are making careers out of it. At 15, a guy is earning crores. Why will another 15-year-old not pick the bat and go there? And why will he pick a ball? He will never pick a ball because he knows ये खेल के तो मैं अपना time waste कर रहा हूँ because basketball as a sport demands a lot out of you. Whereas when you know if you can do even half of it and you go play that sport and you getting recognized and you get your career sorted from that, you're stupid to not take that sport then. So of course, even as me as a kid, if I am given that ja cricket khel, now of course I'm in love with the game.
Yeah.
But I know that if I play cricket and I'm gonna earn crores, and here on the right hand I play basketball and I know I'm gonna go play some nationals or district or something, and that's it. That's the end of me. And after that, maybe I get a government job out of which I'm earning 20,000-30,000 a month. Won't I be stupid to leave crores on the table for 20,000 just because I love the game?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's as simple as that. So unless we build that system, which is having a league, which I believe is coming soon, once we have a league, you're going to see people jumping more towards basketball.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think our federation now has tied up with one of the, I think ACG if I'm not wrong, and they're going to have a league called IBL. So I think that is a great initiative as a beginning of a start, that अगर वो league start होती है and अच्छा लोग pay कर रहे हैं and players are getting what they should deserve to play, then you're going to start seeing parents and kids investing in the sport, and then you'll eventually see that's one aspect of growing the game. But it has to be a consistent. It's not like आज league आई कल खत्म हो गई. It should be at least 10 years that it's going on.
I think जहाँ तक एक अच्छा सिस्टम सेट करने वाली बात है, तो it's not just obviously about having the relevant stakeholders or the relevant people who should be there around. फैसिलिटीज़ की भी बात है, ठीक है. हम क्रिकेट में देखते हैं, बैडमिंटन है, और भी इंडिया में ऐसे स्पोर्ट्स हैं जहाँ पे फैसिलिटीज़, जैसे क्रिकेट में तो टॉप नॉच हैं ही हैं, बैडमिंटन में आज के डेट में फैसिलिटीज़ बहुत अच्छी हैं, ठीक है. जो चीज़ मेरे लिए सबसे ज़्यादा लाइक शॉकिंग थी ना, अभी कुछ टाइम पहले ही जो हुआ है, अबाउट आई थिंक 5 to 6 months ago, हार्दिक, राठी एंड अमन कुमार के केसेस, जहाँ पे जो रस्टिक पोल है वो प्रैक्टिस करने के टाइम पे उन पे गिर गए थे एंड बोथ ऑफ देम डाइड ऑन स्पॉट, ठीक है. बाद में जो उनके रिश्तेदार थे उन्होंने मीडिया को ये स्पेसिफिकली बोला कि हमने तो ये कैटेगोरिकली बोला था फेडरेशन को कि यार इनको इम्प्रूव, मतलब इनको ठीक करवाओ, क्योंकि हमारे बच्चे यहाँ पे आते हैं, ट्रेनिंग करने के लिए आते हैं, बट उनके इनसे नेग्लिजेंस थी. सो लाइक व्हाट डू यू हैव टू से अबाउट दिस?
First of all, it's a very unfortunate event that a kid had to go through something like this. Even their parents and what has taken place is a very, very bad incident and a very bad name for the country in every possible way. Because in terms of infrastructure, if you see across the board, India has great infrastructure. I'm
Yeah.
just telling you.
Yeah.
Problem is, how well is it being preserved, or how well it is being taken care of? Is it taken care of or not?
What do you mean? Like,
So
I don't
let's
understand.
say I am in, let's say I talk about XYZ school. May it be a government school. They have built a basketball court, there is a ring, everything.
Yeah.
Now, are the administration checking every 3 months or not how the ring is, how the courts are, if there is need anything to, modify it or not? Who is taking care of that facility is the question. It is not a question of the infra, it's the question of who is taking care of it. For example, right now, my academy is in multiple places. Now I have an operations person who is going around seeing if there is a crack on the court, who is seeing if the ring is stable enough to dunk on it,
Yeah.
who is seeing if it's moving easily, who is seeing if the net is not good. So if he's checking regularly, that means he knows what can be done, what cannot be done. If I know tomorrow that one of my courts has a bad ring, and if they dunk, the ring is gonna move, the coach will directly tell the player, look, it's gonna take 3 to 4 weeks to fix this ring. Do not dunk because the ring will come down. It's very simple. It's very simple to do this. It's not a complicated thing to do. You just tell the guy, inform the kids not to do this, they will not do this. As the job of the operations of administration of the school, or even XYZ academy or complexes, if they don't tell the kids not to do it in the first place, that's the first step, then of course you are going to see these incidents.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because who should be aware of this? The guy having the court, the operations running the court. If they are not aware of this, of course these mishaps will happen. Because any infra, even if you have these sofas today, after 5 years they're gonna wear down.
Yeah.
It's everything. It's the same with everything. So if I don't know the sofa has the right side is weak, and we are doing a podcast today, and you didn't know of this, I sit and it breaks, of course you're gonna look bad. But the problem is the operations didn't see this. So the administration has to keep checking every 3 months what's the situation of the court in every place. Problem is not infra, it's how you're handling the infra. And that's the problem in the whole country anyways. We make new roads, we make new stuff, we make new infra, but our people don't really give the respect that we should to those streets, to those places, to the ambience that we are around. Because we don't understand, we are the ones who are living in those environments. So it's our responsibility, not the responsibility of the guy we paid. It's even our responsibility how we take care of the things around us. And that's what defines who you are as well. So this kinds of incidents can be easily, taken care of, and we don't have to see such events happening in the future if those administrative people just oversee their own courts and make sure that if there is something wrong, they fix it immediately and they let the kids know not to do such things, not to dunk, not to do just for the time being, because the ring is not fine.
Yeah.
And even after them making them aware, the kids go and do it, then of course it's the fault of the kid.
Yeah.
It's very easy to blame the government, the federation, the administration, that because of that it's not happening. But again, it is individual, then it comes to the collective, then it comes to the guy who is administrating it. It is the responsibility of every individual, I believe, to take responsibility for the actions that are taking place. Not just pinpoint somebody and say that, oh, this is because of him. However, I believe it is very important that such events don't take place anymore, and that every administrative person who is administrating every court that is there in the country, please look into your courts, please look into your rings, have checks that are being done so that we can avoid these great players. Because if a kid at 15 can dunk, definitely he's a great player because he has the athletic ability. So that's potential, even if he's not the best player.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we cannot lose our potential over a ring not being fine, and the grieving parents for no reason because he was enjoying a sport. So there's something we should not be seeing.
आई थिंक बहुत आसान होता है कि जब कोई ऐसा इंसिडेंट होता है, चाहे अक्रॉस किसी भी स्पोर्ट में हो या वैसे लाइफ में, कि कोई भी गवर्नमेंट से आके बोल देता है कि इसकी फैमिली के लिए इतना मुआवजा हम दे रहे हैं, सब कुछ है, इट्स वेरी इजी, बट जो उनके लिए वो लॉस हुआ है वो तो इररिपेरेबल है ना, मतलब वो तो
इकोनॉमिक।
इररिप्लेसेबल है, वो हो ही नहीं सकता, जो बंदा चला गया वो तो आ ही नहीं सकता। सो आई डोंट नो, लाइक मेरे लिए, मैं खुद यही बात कई बार सोचता हूँ कि किसी को बेसिक फैसिलिटी ही देना, चाहे मैं मानता हूं कि हमारी जो डिफरेंट स्पोर्टिंग फेडरेशंस हैं, कोई भी हो, चाहे बास्केटबॉल की हो, किसी भी और स्पोर्ट की हो, अगर आपके पास उतनी हाई फाई या उतनी अच्छी फैसिलिटीज नहीं है, जो आप एक बेसिक किसी को दे सकते हो, वो ये है कि एक आपने नॉर्मल सा अच्छा सा ग्राउंड दे दिया जहां पे कोई प्रैक्टिस कर सकता है, एटलीस्ट बेसिक पानी जो है पीने के लिए दे दिया, नॉर्मल सा खाना खाने के लिए दे दिया। व्हाट आई रियली फील बैड इज कि अगर यही चीज 90s 60s 70s 80s में होती ना, जहां पे हमने बहुत सारे मतलब टीम्स को स्ट्रगल करते हुए देखा था, हमारी जो हॉकी टीम थी जिसने मल्टीपल मेडल्स जीते थे ओलंपिक्स में, स्टिल वो स्ट्रगल करते थे लेकिन फिर भी वो मेडल्स लेके आते थे। नाउ वी आर लिविंग लाइक वेरी वेल अहेड, दुनिया भर की फैसिलिटीज हैं, मतलब इवन आवर कंट्री इज आल्सो प्रोग्रेसिंग वेल, जिस तरीके से प्रोजेक्ट करा जाता है बाय द लेटेस्ट गवर्नमेंट, एंड येट जब ऐसे इंसिडेंट्स होते हैं, इट डज यू नो ब्रिंग मी टू अ पॉइंट कि यार क्या आज हम फिर अभी वही 50-60 साल मतलब पीछे जी रहे हैं।
नहीं, you're absolutely right with what you're saying, but infrastructure is not the only thing that is required to take the sport up.
या
Infra is just one part of it. आपके मिल्खा सिंह हैं, क्या इंफ्रा है बताओ आप?
कुछ भी नहीं है।
जुनून था बस कि मेरे को बनना है। हर एथलीट जो सबसे हाईएस्ट लेवल पे सक्सेसफुल है, उसको इंफ्रा भी नहीं चाहिए, उसको कोई नहीं चाहिए, उसका विल ही उसको ले जाता है। So this is not a problem of infra or anything. This is the basic problem of the will, and then comes the administration, how good it is, and then comes the most important thing, which is the platform. Is the athlete getting the platform he deserves? If no, of course the talent is gonna die. Because how much can an athlete fight alone? कितना जुनून रख सकता है एथलीट? अगर कल वो 4 घंटे ट्रेनिंग करके आ रहा है और वापस जाता है और खाना नहीं है उसके पास, क्या कर लेगा एथलीट? ही विल लीव द स्पोर्ट, ही विल गो सेल समथिंग सो दैट ही कैन फुलफिल हिज बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट्स. टू बी ए एथलीट, बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट तो बेसिक है. You need every kind of support possible. It is the most taxing thing to be athlete. You require a physio, you require nutritionist, you require a psychological help, you require a great coach, you require a great facility. On top of that, you require things for recovery, आइस बाथ, सोना, स्टीम, अभी नई नई चीज़ें आ रही हैं, मसाज गन, 1000 चीज़ें चाहिए तुम्हें थोड़ा सा परफॉर्म करने के लिए. और अगर वो सब कुछ नहीं मिल रहा और तुम फिर भी कर पा रहे हो, then of course तुम it's purely out of the will and the love for the game.
करेक्ट।
So there are many factors, I believe, for it to go in the right direction.
Exactly. Like, it's obviously a well-known fact that you are the first Indian to sign and compete in various professional basketball leagues in Europe. So this does, bring me to a question that how to be a professional basketballer in Europe, specifically if you are an Indian, and how it is different from like Indian basketball, the people, their culture, and all that stuff.
It's a great question to ask because the difference is huge. So the kind of basketball that we are seeing in Europe and what we see in India again comes down to the fundamental system.
Yeah.
In Europe, a kid who is 15 years old is already a pro. In India, a 15-year-old is busy getting ready for his boards. That's the difference. वहाँ पर European style of basketball में we call something as systems, where there are plays. At 10 year, I'll tell you in Serbia, I'll just tell you the difference how it is. The 10-year-olds in Serbia will beat our 14-year-olds. The 12-year-olds will beat our 16-year-olds. The 14-year-olds in Serbia will beat our 19-year-olds. And the under 16 team will beat our senior team. I'm saying Indian national team.
Yeah.
And why is that? A 16-year-old team can beat our team.
Early preparation, early mindset.
Systems, preparation, expertise, understanding. Because the game literally originates from the place. वही अगर मैं क्रिकेट में बोलूँ, सेम चीज़ लागू होती है ऑपोजिट वे में। एक 10 साल का इंडियन क्रिकेटर वहाँ के 15 साल के इंडियन क्रिकेटर को हरा देगा। सेम। So understanding this, that the expertise comes from that place, the IQ that it takes to play the game, the understanding, and the specification. Now when I talk about specification, here in our country we emphasize on who scores the most baskets. He is the best player. So for example, अब 12 साल का बच्चा ये देखता है कि मैं ज़्यादा स्कोर करूँगा तभी मेरे को recognition मिलेगा.
Yeah.
All he's focused on is how I can score the most. But in basketball you have passing, you have defense, you have shooting, then you have assists, then multiple aspects to the game. Rebounds, बहुत कुछ है, steals. So अब अगर एक बच्चा अच्छा rebounder है और वो देख रहा है यार मैं अगर शॉट मारूंगा तभी मेरे को रिकग्निशन मिल रहा है, तो गया तुम्हारा वो टैलेंट रीबाउंड का. वो देख रहा है कि मैं असिस्ट अच्छा दे सकता हूँ बट मेरे को ये कदर ही नहीं कर रहा गेम में, वो देख रहे हैं सिर्फ पॉइंट्स ही मारना, तो ये गया असिस्ट. तो गेम इज सेंट्रली फोकस्ड ऑन द गाय हु स्कोर्स द मोस्ट इज द बेस्ट प्लेयर ऑन द कोर्ट. इन सर्बिया a guy who's setting screens is basically when I'm driving the ball, I call a play, there's a guy who gives a screen so that I can move. तो screen मतलब literally जाकर ऐसे खड़े होना है उसे सही जगह पे. Just to do that in Europe, I know multiple guys who are getting paid millions of dollars. They have 0 points, they have few rebounds, they are in the right places and running the right place, that's all, and they're getting millions. That's the difference between the game. वो एक पॉइंट स्कोर नहीं कर रहा है और उसको रिकग्नाइज करा जा रहा है उसकी टैलेंट के लिए, उसके एस्पेक्ट के लिए. मैं ये भी नहीं कह रहा कि वो कुछ क्रेजी कर रहा है, वो बस स्क्रीन दे रहा है जाके. यहाँ पर वो पॉइंट जब तक नहीं मारता तब तक उसको तुम रिकग्नाइज नहीं करते, तो कितना टैलेंट वेस्ट हो रहा है आप सोचो. अब उतना स्पेसिफिक है वहाँ गेम. The specification of the game is to the point of if you are in the wrong place, you are benched. If you are not able to run a basic play, you are benched. Points score करना तो बहुत बात की बात है. You can play in Europe without scoring any points if you know how to play the system. The coach assigns you a job. उल्लास तेरा ये काम है, आज तेरे को नंबर से इसको रोकना है, बट रोकना कैसे है. वो राइट हैंडेड है, वो राइट हैंडेड जा सकता है, उसका स्ट्रॉन्ग साइड है वो, तेरे को उसको लेफ्ट को पुश करना है. लेफ्ट साइड में तेरे को हेल्प साइड आएगा, पर वो तब आएगा जब तू उसको मिड सेक्शन में फ्री थ्रो तक ला पाए. दैट्स हाउ स्पेसिफिक वी आर टॉकिंग. एंड देन ऑफेंसिवली मेरे को तेरे से कुछ नहीं चाहिए. यू गो अप, यू रन द बॉल, तेरे को फुल कोर्ट प्रेशर करेंगे, तू बॉल ऊपर लेके आ, यू रन द राइट प्ले अकॉर्डिंग टू द डिफेंस दैट इज देयर. एंड इफ द प्ले इज नॉट वर्किंग, then you play pick and roll, which is a 2-man game, and out of that whatever is the best option, take that. I don't expect you to score any points. I want only this specific job because your job is to make them better and let them do the job. Then we have a shooter who's number 6 in our team, so uske liye play chal raha hai that the number 2 is our shooter. We want him to score 20 points this game because all plays are aligned to this person for this particular game. अब ये भी हो सकता है कि अगले गेम में वो सेम चीज स्ट्रैटेजी चले ही ना. नेक्स्ट गेम ही वांट्स मी टू बी द मेन स्कोरर एंड गो अहेड एंड डू समथिंग एल्स. सो एवरी गेम योर जॉब कीप्स चेंजिंग अकॉर्डिंग टू द टीम दैट यू आर प्लेइंग अगेंस्ट. दिस कॉन्सेप्ट इज अनहर्ड ऑफ हियर. यहाँ पर आए कल मैच है भाई, कल मैं 50 पॉइंट मारूंगा. एवरी प्लेयर इज सेइंग द सेम थिंग. And coach is not even aware of these details. डिफेंस करना है, ऑफेंस करना है, यही है. मेरे को डिफेंस करना है, ऑफेंस करना है, उसमें क्या करना है, मेरा क्या रोल है. और वहाँ 12 के 12 प्लेयर खेलते हैं, यहाँ गिन चुन के 5 प्लेयर ही खेल रहे होंगे जो बेस्ट प्लेयर होंगे. तो वी आर इन रियल टाइम 20 years away from where they are and where we are as of today.
Do you really think that this mindset can change? I'll tell you know why I asked this question. और ये लाइफ के सिर्फ इसी एस्पेक्ट में नहीं रेलेवेंट है ये सवाल जो मैं पूछ रहा हूँ, ये हर जगह की बात है. आप स्कूल जाते हो तो आपके कितने मार्क्स आए, या आपने कितने बास्केट्स मारे, ठीक है, या अगर आप क्रिकेट की प्रैक्टिस करने जाते हो तो आपने आज
स्कोर
कितने
करा।
वहां पे रन मारे. वन थिंग दैट आई ऑलवेज फेल टू अंडरस्टैंड इज, एंड आई थिंक ये मेरे को बात, अभी मैं कुछ दिन पहले मैं किसी से बात कर रहा था तो मेरे को एक चीज रियलाइज हुई कि हर रोल कितना ज्यादा जरूरी होता है. और मैं आपको अभी रामायणा का एग्जांपल देता हूँ, ठीक है. हम बात करते हैं जामवंत एंड हनुमान जी की, ठीक है. तो द अदर डे आई वाज स्पीकिंग विद वन ऑफ माय फ्रेंड्स एंड ही सेड दैट कि हर रोल पता है क्यों जरूरी होता है, बिकॉज हर रोल ना अपने आप में एक हीरो होता है, हर रोल अपने आप में एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट कैरेक्टर होता है. अगर जामवंत हनुमान जी को उनकी पावर्स के बारे में रियलाइज ना करवाते तो शायद वो कभी लंका मतलब उड़ के जा भी ना पाते, ठीक है. तो उनका भी रोल बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी रहा, क्योंकि अगर वो नहीं कर पाते तो हनुमान जी का जो कार्य था वो अपना अच्छे से नहीं कर पाते. तो आई थिंक हर चीज का अपने आप में एक बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट रोल होता है, which is not very difficult for me to understand, and I'm sure कि हम सबके पास जो आज के डेट में कॉमन सेंस जिसको हम कहते हैं, मुझे तो लगता है कि वो सुपर पावर है अगर देखा जाए तो. आई थिंक इट्स नॉट वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड कि अगर आप एक टीम स्पोर्ट में हो, मैं यहाँ पे टेनिस एंड ऑल इन सब की बात नहीं करूंगा, अगर आप टीम स्पोर्ट में हो, इट डज नॉट मैटर कि आप वहां पे 80 90 100 120 मार रहे हो. इट ओनली मैटर्स कि अगर आपने 20 रन मारे और आपके साथ वाला पार्टनर अच्छा खेल रहा है, चाहे क्रिकेट में हो या किसी में भी हो, तो आप उसको जितना सपोर्ट कर सकते हो करो. लाइक यू सेड कि सर्बिया में होता है, एक जॉब है उसका, ही इज गुड एट इट एंड ही इज गेटिंग पेड मिलियंस ऑफ डॉलर्स फॉर इट एंड ही इज डूइंग वेरी वेल. आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड कि जो ये माइंडसेट है ये क्यों नहीं चेंज हो रहा है. लाइक मैं आज से 20 साल पहले भी एग्जैक्टली बिल्कुल वैसा ही था, और मुझे तो आज की डेट में भी ऐसा ही लगता है कि जो आज भी जो पेरेंट्स बन रहे हैं, जो नए पेरेंट्स हैं, जो मॉडर्न एज पेरेंट्स हैं, वो भी ज्यादातर यही करते हैं कि भाई कितने नंबर आए तुम्हारे, या तुमने वहां पे जाके कितने बास्केट्स मारे. सो आई डोंट थिंक दैट कि यहाँ पे इंटेंट की बात है. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ये जो चीज है ये थोड़ी छोटी है.
See, I agree to you because in many ways there are two aspects to this. So recently I had the opportunity to be part of the World Economic Forum, and I was with the top 1% of the world there. And what I saw in their mindset is the same thing. They are always looking at, when they talk about investing into something, they are always not seeing what you have built, they are saying who the person is. They're always investing in the person. Why is that? Because they understand at the highest level, may it be any team, जो भी टीम आप देखो ना, NBA चैम्पियनशिप जीते या IPL जीते या कहीं भी देखना आप, जो भी मतलब who is succeeding will always have this understanding and mindset that every little thing matters, everybody is important. From the guy, so for example, we are sitting in this room having this nice podcast and talking casually. There is somebody in the border who is safeguarding us, because of which we are sitting here and casually talking about all this.
Yeah.
If he was not there safeguarding us, which we don't even think about in our daily lives, today we will not even be able to sip the water so casually. We'll be running around trying to fight our own survival. So it is the essence of this, understanding this, how many things have to come together to make one outcome come true. So if we do not give that importance, it's the natural consequence, you will never succeed. Which is why I say that if you see a team game, the team which is winning has given importance to every role that is there. And because everyone is feeling the importance being part of the team, that team will naturally succeed.
Yeah.
Any failure you see in life as individual or team, you will see वहाँ importance नहीं दी गई थी. And nahi di gayi, that's why they're not successful. And that's the same thing. People who are at the top of the top who are successful because only of this. So unless and until you want to, if you have the drive to be at the highest level, you'll have to be that way, where you're giving the importance. If you're not going to be there. It's as simple as that. And that's why it's 1% and it's not 99.
Yeah. अब जैसे इंडियन बास्केटबॉल के बारे में हम काफ़ी चीज़ें डिस्कस कर चुके हैं, थोड़ा जैसे नेग्लिजेंस की बात करी, आपने इंटेंट पे थोड़ा ज़्यादा फोकस करा. इज देयर मनी, लाइक इज देयर रियली मनी इन इंडियन बास्केटबॉल? है हमारी फेडरेशन के पास उतना पैसा है, और अगर है तो वो आ कहाँ से रहा है?
ये तो मेरे को भी पता नहीं है, मेरे को भी तो पूछना ही पड़ेगा.
बट व्हाटएवर रेलेवेंट इन्फॉर्मेशन यू हैव.
I am not 100% sure, but I believe that federations, everyone works differently. I believe the government gives a certain funding to each and every association or federation. I'm not sure, but just guessing. It being, if that's the scenario, then of course, if the funding is there, what they are doing out of it is always a question mark. For example, I'm running the Wheelchair Basketball Federation of India.
Yeah.
Currently the vice president for it. So I've seen the roles I have in it. So a lot of funding comes from CSR because para athletes hain. There's no direct funding to us that people are funding us XYZ and we are running a federation. So our funding comes from CSR, for example, and just out of CSR funding, we have managed our 3-on-3 women's basketball team has now reached the Commonwealth Games. Now that has happened for the first time in the history of para sports, team sports. So I am saying, if you can build a right system, talent तो है. अगर हमारे पैरा एथलीट्स कर सकते हैं तो हमारे एथलीट्स क्यों नहीं कर सकते? हम कॉमनवेल्थ में पैरा एथलीट्स में जा रहे हैं, बट हम कॉमनवेल्थ में इसमें नहीं जा रहे हैं. तो I don't think funding would be the main reason behind the problems we have. I believe at the end it comes down to what you're doing out of it, and I don't want to comment on who is doing what with it, but I would say that intent, which I was emphasizing earlier on, if you have the right intent and if you have this one intent, I'm not even saying you have to think about it, I'm just saying you just think that मेरे को बास्केटबॉल पे हाईएस्ट लेवल पे लेके जाना है. तुम सोच लो ना बस, फंड क्या है, फेडरेशन क्या है, इंसान क्या है, वो तो फिर सब उस तरफ ही जाएंगे ना. फिर अब तुमने मंजिल ही नहीं सेट करी तो कहाँ जाओगे? You think small, you will be small. You think big, you will be big. It's as simple as that. So you think for the country, it will be great. If you don't, if you have your own personal agendas, of course you're gonna see what the outcome is gonna be negative. So it's the intent, I believe, is the first step.
Okay. So, like, before we get to more work that you have done both on and off the field, so recently, I and obviously my team here, we had the pleasure of interviewing Ranjit Bajaj. He's the founder of the Minerva Academy and very great guy
job.
too. Yeah.
Great job. He's doing a great job.
Yeah, great guy to speak with. So I asked him about the funding thing, that AIFF gets, and one big revelation that came out of it was that about 67 lakh rupees was spent on, feeding biryani to the relevant stakeholders up north. So यहाँ पे भी ऐसा ही होता है क्या कुछ कि जो फंडिंग आती है वो कहीं ऐसी चली जाती है हमारे बास्केटबॉल फेडरेशन में?
I have no clue.
I'm not saying that कि बिरयानी स्कैम में चली जाती है, but ऐसी कहीं पे भी चली जाती है.
Why I'm saying that I have no clue is I really don't have any clue.
Okay.
What they're doing, what is that is going on there. Because my focus is on the grassroots level, and what I am building is completely separate from whatever is going on. So मैं तो मेरा फोकस ही अलग चल रहा है, तो मैंने कभी उस साइड देखा ही नहीं, which comes back to my own mindset of I am my own competition. I see myself and I see what I can do to make things better for the country. So with my own vision and my own focus, I'm doing what I'm doing. But in terms of federation and the funds that they are handling, I have no clue.
Okay, that's fine. I think first of all, I would really want to congratulate you on having your own basketball academy. I think it's by Ulhas UYBA Basketball Academy. Tell our viewers, more about it. Where did the idea come from, and from where all you have gotten that support to make sure that the dreams of a lot of young basketballers can come true?
So while I was playing, once I became the first Indian to play professionally, and it was my second year playing outside, representing national team. It was like 3-4 years since I was playing outside, and I realized like कोई और आ क्यों नहीं रहा है बाहर, क्या हो क्या रहा है, like why are we not able to produce more players? And I realized that even though I figured out my own pathway, but the kids here don't know what the pathway is, or if not kids, parents don't know what the pathway is, and the talent is just being shifted. So I realized that at some point I will start an academy where I can give a pathway. I can really help other people come play pro, because there are 10,000 leagues outside, not just 2 or 3, 10,000. So for every player where he is in his game, he can play a similar league. It doesn't have to be Division 1. It can be 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. So the minute I realized that nahi aa raha koi, I was like, you know what? I cannot wait until retirement and I cannot see this anymore. Now somebody has to do something.
Yeah.
So out of the urge, it's not that I had my own desires. It was purely what was needed. So when I saw there is a need to do it, I just started it. And the minute I started it, I knew what was needed. We have now 200 university partnerships across the globe. You have international academy partnerships like Milan Gurush Academy or Spy Academy, where NBA players are produced. People go to NCAA from there, which is college league. So it's a pathway. Now either you're a student athlete playing at a high basketball level and you're completing your undergraduation, which is the route I took, or you're directly turning pro because you are of that level. So it is with that vision to give a career to the kid, and then only that way a sport truly succeed. Because if you cannot make a career, there is nothing that you can get out of a sport. How long will you play the game for the love of it? At some point, you'll have to see what you have to do to take care of your needs. If the needs are met, then we can talk about love. So unless the needs are met, it's just a fancy story. So with that vision that I know that this is needed, I started it, and it's been going well. And I believe I'll have some fresh, important news for you within a span of 2 months.
I'm really
And
looking
it's
forward to
gonna
that.
be
Yeah.
a game changer for the Indian basketball.
Great. So, like, do you believe in the fact that the latest academy that you have had, would it really provide the roadmap for Indian basketball to move to NBA?
It will.
Okay,
It will.
how?
Because the minute, so this is how I have structured everything. I have a foreign coach who's giving me a program which is European based, which my Indian coaches here are teaching. Now, the good part about the program, because I myself am part of seeing what is going on in the program, it is something which is easily learnable if you know basketball. Even if you played basketball for 3 years, you'll know what the program is. Now, structuring it in a way where it's being given to the entire nation. So I easily had a choice to, have my own establishment, be in one place and ask everyone else to come. But I wanted that the expertise should go all across India, because when I eventually represent my country, I'm playing European style of basketball and FIBA. I'm not playing NBA basketball. I'm playing European style of basketball when I'm representing the country. So it is very important that the kids are learning European style of basketball, which is a system basketball, alongside NBA style of individual training, combining both, the best of both. We are trying to give that expertise to the kid. And when I'm giving that on a grassroots level to a 6-7 year old, and we are developing the same person in that expertise till 18, with having international exposures, with international coaches coming in, like we had Mr. Coach Clive come in, who's a EuroLeague coach in Noida Indoor Stadium, and even in Bangalore.
Okay.
So having access to that kind of coach so casually, which took me 20 years to get, that itself changes your perspective of the game. That okay, this is what the game is outside. Now they get that exposure, they understand what it takes to be a pro. Now they come back and train in the same expertise in our academy. Then after 18, after your high school or 17, I'm placing you in a university which is great in basketball, which is European style of basketball or NBA style of basketball, whichever it may be. And they are completing their undergrad. In that 3 years, they develop in that environment. They have taken the next step. Now after that, they are becoming professionals playing in leagues outside. And eventually they can come back and play for the country. But now when they come and play, they are already used to the foreign game. They're already thriving in that atmosphere. So when now they come and they represent the country, they're already levels ahead. If you and I play against each other every single day for the next 10 years, how much better can you really be?
Not much.
So even if I'm the best player in Delhi, or even if I'm the best player in India, the minute I go out, I'm nothing. That's what the reality is. So the minute you realize that at the age of 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, whatever, you understand that what it really takes. Now the kind of work you will put in will be far different than what you were doing earlier, naturally. And now you know exactly that मैं कर सकता हूँ, मैं खेल सकता हूँ ये sport, या मैं नहीं खेल सकता हूँ ये sport. That's the reason why I introduced the international exposure camps. That the exposure you would get after playing for the country, you have it already at the age of 10, 12. So now it's to bridge the gap with having the exposure, understanding, training in the right expertise, and now you're being pushed and placed in the right leagues. You perform well in those leagues, you go up the rankings, eventually you'll see the kids playing in the NBA.
That's great.
It's a complete pathway.
Like proper step by step.
It's step by step. There's no jumping. You're there. If you deserve, you'll be there. And there is no, it's a clean path. You deserve, you are a player, you will be there. It's simple.
Okay. एक चीज जो like I'm still a little skeptical about, because obviously I would want to understand this, कि like in your academy, how does the enrollment process go? Like obviously ऐसे भी बहुत सारे बच्चे होंगे जिनके पेरेंट्स के पास उतने पैसे नहीं होंगे just to get enrolled in your academy. So what do you usually do for them?
So I dissect it into 3 aspects: Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 cities. Now, Tier 1 cities are the cities like Delhi, Bangalore, these places where people can afford to pay for the expertise and be part of it. Now, from place to place, it changes. In Tier 2 cities, like Gwalior, you can say, or XYZ, whatever cities may they be, the amount is according to the place I am in. When I reach to Tier 3 cities, like Kiloi एक गाँव है हरियाणा में, ठीक है? I am in talks with somebody there. People cannot afford nothing there. There, the coaches that are there will get the expertise for free from us, and they will teach the kids for free. Nothing will be charged.
So how do you identify the talent there? Like how is your talent scouting team placed?
So my scouts are also my coaches. Plus I have operation heads all across the place who go and see you, and they are from basketball backgrounds. And I get constant reports, the videos. Now we are in a digital media. I don't have to go somewhere to know it. And what happens is, when we identify that these 5 players are the best players. For example, we did the international exposure camp. I'll just give you an example how it's happening. In Bangalore, when we did it, we had players coming from Tamil Nadu. We had players coming from rural areas of Tamil Nadu be part of the camp. Somebody was coming from Uttarakhand. Some players are coming from, West Bengal. We had players from all across India. Now, for some players who could not afford it, we knew the batch that these from this, they cannot afford it. We gave them scholarship. And in this case, we are also working with the Karnataka Association, Basketball Association. So even from that association, the best players who could not afford, the association gave help to those players to be part of it. So we have the good people around the place who want to grow the sport as well. So we make it accessible for them. So who can pay and who understands the value pays and comes. Who cannot and is a great talent is also being taken into the system. In Noida, when we did the same camp, I had the wheelchair basketball players be part of the camp for free. I had 60 underprivileged kids from government school come and experience the international coach directly, and he was with them, training them, having fun with them at no cost. But for the people who paid, we made sure that they're getting their value and even more than what they should get.
Okay.
So everyone's happy and everyone's being included. The whole goal is being accessible to everyone, at the same time to run a business and be profitable, to sustain the business by itself, and to give the value that is lacking, and to really give a pathway above all to each and every person. May you can afford or you cannot afford. The pathway is there for everybody to walk and become something.
Perfect. I think whatever be the case, जिसमें किसी भी चाहे sport में हो, team sport है या individual sport है, one thing that we all know, that is the utmost requirement for any athlete is fitness. Okay. Recently, I remember, Virat Kohli speaking about hockey players कि उनके जो fitness है, that's like a lot, uh, better in comparison to maybe cricketers here. So, what is the level of fitness needed in basketball? And do you think that our basketball players more fitter than cricketers?
Ooh, crazy comparison, huh? You're trying to create
Trying
a
to.
controversy now. You put me in
I
a
have been
spot.
trying to create controversy in the past 1 hour or so.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, my team would agree.
No.
Yeah.
So I've done a great job then. No, but in terms of
Have you?
cricket, I think so.
No, I'm not talking about fitness. I'm talking about controversy.
Yeah.
I said that, I have been trying to create it, and you said that you have done a good job.
Well, I was unaware of it, so I don't know. Or maybe I was. You don't
Maybe,
know.
yeah.
No, I'm just playing around.
No,
But
yeah,
in
it's
terms
okay.
of cricket and basketball, see, I usually don't even compare myself with another person for getting two sports. But if I have to compare, basketball is, I believe, the second fastest sport in the world. And me playing the sport personally for the last 20 years, the kind of toll and tax it takes is crazy. Because you're sprinting for the 40 minutes, you're sprinting, there is no jogging, and easily you can just walk on the court. You're sprinting 40 minutes, you're changing direction at all times. You're having to jump, shoot, guard the guy, multiple directional changes, listening to the coaches. You're on and on and on for the 40 minutes. Unless you're subbed out and you're coming back. It's always 100%. You cannot have a small belly as well to play the game. You cannot not be athletic. You cannot not be fast. You cannot not be jumping high or changing direction fast. You can't just do one thing and you can be on the court. You have to do all things to be on the court. So this is the only sport, I believe, which is I will say, maximum taxing in a short amount. And 40 minutes will not feel short. You play basketball for 10 minutes, as a normal person, you will know what basketball is. And that's not even playing professionally. When you play professionally, it's all another level. It's very different. And to be on that kind of fitness, it takes everything. You have to train like for 4 to 6 hours to play that 40 minutes well. So comparing that to cricket, in cricket, let's say a fast bowler which takes a lot of energy, to throw that ball at that speed.
Yeah.
You're running from one side to the other. You take one sprint, you bowl the ball with the utmost power and speed you have. And once you're done with that action, and let's say he just did a defense, like that's all, he didn't hit you for a 6 or a 4, then you're walking back. And that takes a good 3 minutes to walk back. And then he's rubbing the ball, he's getting ready for another ball. So 5 minutes, give or take 3 to 5 minutes after every ball he bowls, he's getting. You don't have that time. In that 5 minutes of him walking back, we have already done 10-15 sprints. Multiple possessions have taken place. So there is not even a comparison in terms of the fitness that is required for basketball. You've seen some players who have little bit of fat, belly here and there. And especially 10 years ago, if you go, not even talking about them playing for country, I'm saying entirely, you don't have to be at that level. So Virat Kohli has come out and become who he is because I think he understood that if he works and makes his fitness, unlike cricket, like making it actually like the fitness, what other athletes he's seeing in football or basketball or whatever heavy taxing sports there are, if he takes himself to that level, then cricket will feel easy for him. And you see it.
True.
I'm not saying it just because of it. He's proved it, he's shown it. And the minute he showed that, everyone's walking that path.
Yeah.
So it is not something I'm saying out of the blue. I'm saying out of an example that you quoted. That Virat Kohli, I think he saw that long time before. And he himself was a chubby kid. He was called Chiku, if I'm not wrong.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So he knows that the minute he transformed into becoming that, he reached heights which no other cricketer has. So I believe every cricketer, every athlete in every sport should see that and get to the fittest level they can to be the best version of themselves.
True, true. I think you talk about having that great level of fitness in basketball. You said that you need to train for about 4 to 6 hours or maybe even more than that. I think then Kobe Bryant really had that insane level of fitness. I still remember in our first interview that we did a couple of years ago, we did talk about the Mamba
Mamba
mentality. You know,
mentality.
you get up at 3 or 4, freshen up, training, practice, come home, breakfast. After that, you go once again, training, practice. So from about 3 or 4 in the morning until 9 p.m. in the night, it just, it's exemplary. And I really feel that even 1% of the athletes, basketball athletes or maybe any of the other sports, can just try to be in that state of mind that you just want to be better and better every single day. I think you would really be able to produce a lot more uh, athletes who are more toughened up with all this process.
No, 100% I agree. See, I would always say take the best from each person that you see and incorporate it within yourself. From the late Kobe Bean Bryant, you see my jersey is 24, so he's one of my inspirations. And what I learned from him is yes, work ethic, that we glorify hard work, I agree. But I feel it's overly glorified, that overtraining. What I would take from the Kobe Bryant is the mentality that no other athlete in this whole entire universe can ever have. Even if they try to copy the guy, it's not possible because he was, you would say, obsessive, mad, out of the world in any case. Because it didn't matter if he broke his shoulder, if he broke his knee, what happened to his body. If he was in the game and he had to finish a task. I remember a game of his where he got injured, I think on his right shoulder, his shooting arm.
Yeah.
And then I think it popped out or something happened, which was he couldn't move his hand. He went back and then he was like, got some taped up and he said, I'm going to finish the game with my left hand. You would have never heard any athlete, if it happens to someone else, they're going to go to the locker room and start getting treatment and stuff. He played with his left hand, and not that he just played, he dominated with his left hand. And then you see a video of him the next day, not resting, but dribbling with the left hand and focusing and trying to finish with the left. So he was like obsessive. And then you have somebody like LeBron James, who is always taking care of body. At the age of 41, he's still in his prime, dunking on people, doing craziest, as a human you've never seen.
Yeah.
And he's doing it easily. It doesn't even look like he's like working hard towards it. So I see both aspects, and I believe you should take the mentality of Kobe Bryant, but you should follow what LeBron James is doing in terms of taking care of his body. He sleeps for, 10, 12 hours. He's working out, let's say, 1 hour here, 2 hours there, 1 hour here. But it's separated in such a way that it's not taxing his body and he's getting years to play. You never heard, even in cricketers, I think the age is around 36, 37, they retire.
That's right, yeah.
And to play basketball in NBA and still be considered the best player in the world at 41 is unheard of.
Absolutely.
And the guy is still hated.
कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे.
लोगों का काम है कहना.
Yeah. I think just the last couple of things. Talk me through your fitness routine. Like, what's your day-to-day fitness routine? What is the kind of exercises that you try to do, or any of the gym work that you specifically love?
So, as a basketball player, gym is a must, of course, because the kind of strength that is required. But not more than 45 minutes if you're doing the workout right.
Mm-hmm.
45 minutes is like the perfect time. Because I'll tell you, as a professional, what used to happen wherever I've played is in the morning, you go for your shooting workout and then you're hitting the gym for 45 minutes. So an hour of shooting workout, then 45 minutes gym, 15 minutes you're, relaxing and stretching, you're breathing, different things that you're doing. Then you're focused on recovery. And then evening you have a team practice for 2 hours. So that's the usual regimen. But when it comes to the off season, I like to gain more size, more. I'm focused on higher calorie diet, and I'm trying to build more strength and size, because in game, in season, we tend to lose at least 7 to 10 kilos, even if we eat right, purely just because of the amount of energy that we are, using on the court. So it is to not get many injuries. So it is different from time to time, but in our gym, when we are in the 45 minutes, we are lifting weights, but not always in a typical gym way. It is according to the basketball movements that we do. So let's say if I need to shoot the ball, usually my shoulders need to be more strong. So people are doing shoulder presses, right, in the gym to get the definition. Our focus is not definition. Our focus is strength and using that strength in the game. So translating to the game.
Yeah, yeah.
So I would be in a lunge position, trying to push the weight while my hand is moving at the backside. So it is a basketball rotational movement while the shoulder is going up and pushing the ball, which is what exactly I do in the game. I rotate my obliques and I shoot the ball while my legs are down and I'm trying to balance with my core. So it is a very detailed way of training.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It is not just I'm going there and I'm just
Lifting weights.
आज
and
मैं
all,
shoulder करूँगा, आज मेरा legs है. We don't do it like that.
Yeah. And what's your diet like? Like, what do you usually consume starting from breakfast?
So I'm a vegetarian, which in India people understand, but in Europe they think vegetarian means you eat fish and eggs. So I want to clear that there's no fish and eggs as well.
Yeah, yeah.
It's purely vegetables and dairy products, and even in dairy I don't consume milk a lot. It'd be more yogurt, cottage cheese, which is paneer, tofu, soya. Instead of telling you exactly what I have in breakfast and dinner, I'm telling you what is the exact things which can benefit you and give you more protein, even though protein is not the only thing that you need. Then you have legume like or lentils,
Yeah.
dal, everything. These are not protein but more carbohydrates, but it is also important equally. Then when it comes to carbs, it depends. If I have to go and play a game, prior to the game I'll have more carbohydrates, not protein, because I want that kind of energy in me.
Yeah.
And after the game I would emphasize more on protein because I want to recover and rebuild the muscle fibers that have been torn. And in the morning it's a mix, it's a more balanced diet. But it all depends on what the workout is, what time I'm working out, what I'm doing. There are too many specifics to it. But I would say the key is not just knowing what to eat, but how and when to eat it. Because we are just focused on protein ज़्यादा खाना है, कब खाना है, कब नहीं खाना है. So it's a very different way and detailed, like that's a whole other podcast. But I would say that understand what your body also digests quicker. Don't just go by what everything is there, because everybody is a nutritionist today.
And that's more of a hit and trial process
Yeah.
that you have to figure out what's really
What's
working for your
working for
body
you.
and what's not working. Yeah.
I believe your body is your best guru. It tells you what is required, what is needed, what is not needed. And sometimes, just sometimes, you should become like Kobe Bryant and not listen to your body.
That's right.
Because it also lies at times.
I think, this actually brings me to one thing that you have, from being obviously a basketball player now that you are, and you have also started to don a different hat, being off the field, managing an academy, multiple roles that you are performing here. How difficult it is to manage all these roles, and what have been your best learnings like in the last few years, specifically starting from the experience that you had at Westminster Business School?
So, a lot of people don't know this, but even in my high school, I took entrepreneurship. And while being an athlete, I've always been a student athlete. So managing studies and sports. But I believe the mentality that Kobe Bryant had, which is to give your all and give your best, not care about the results. So I translated that in every aspect of my life, that I have to give my 100% to the game, but I also have to give my 100% to my family. I have to give my 100% to the entrepreneurship, to whatever I'm doing basically. and that is the quality that I took from Westminster, because I was managing myself alone. I was playing basketball. Then I was given the opportunity to be the captain of the team, and of course, as you mentioned, we went to have our first championship in 7 years. So that managing both kind of became the skill that time, which I knew at some point will translate in the future, and which it did. As managing academy right now, different programs, different creating SOPs, different things, like too many things that are involved. Then there's a federation, which means I have 28 states I have to take care of for our para athletes, and even in that, trying to be successful, where our team is now, as I mentioned, part of the Commonwealth Games and the first time in the history. Then I have international coaches coming here. So like so many things that are happening at the same time. And of course, not to forget, I have to train 4 hours a day. So managing this, I would see, it's very easy. It's not hard. It is hard if you look from outside. But if you are in my shoes, I'm working 18 hours a day. I sleep 6 hours because I meditate twice a day. So I manage. And I would say the best thing about this is being present. Where I am. That I am here with you. I'm doing the podcast. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the federation, talking to the guys and handling that. I'll be there. I'm handling my academy and doing the tasks of the academy. I'm there. I'm playing basketball. I'm there. I'm nowhere else. So it's because of my ability to be in the moment, I'm able to create these many moments. And I believe it's not something special. Every human can do it. And it's just a matter of how willing you are. Because I would like to leave on this quote that my father always says this, that where there's a will, there is a way. It's as simple as that. And if your will is strong and you want to achieve something, वो चक दे इंडिया में कहते हैं ना, खुदा भी तुमसे नहीं ले सकता.
Yeah.
So if you are willed and you have decided कि तुम्हें चाहिए at any cost, even the gods have to come into your favor.
Yeah. I really wish you all the best, and all the necessary people who are making sure that your basketball academy reaches new heights, and maybe India goes on to have a lot of talent that not just makes the country proud, but also maybe one fine day goes on to play in the NBA, and obviously there is going to be a lot of talent pool. Thank you so much for this discussion once again. I think it's been a pleasure talking to you. For all our viewers, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, do give us a like, leave a comment here, share it in your friends and family circle, and more importantly, subscribe to ChakDeBharat. Until then, it's Siddharth Gulati saying goodbye.